This video will show you how to conduct a chi-square goodness of fit test using a spreadsheet. The data for this example represents the number of elective surgeries throughout a year from a particular medical clinic. The research question is there evidence to suggest that surgeries are inconsistent throughout the year? There were a total of 429 surgeries done at this clinic for this particular year. The expected quantities would be computed as 429 times the 1/12. The expected quantities are computed assuming that the surgeries are occurring consistently, which means that 1/12 should be occurring in each month. To enter the expected values, you can simply type them in, as shown here, and then you can grab the lower right-hand corner of the cell and just drag those across for each of the months. The other thing that you can do is to type in the formula. So let the spreadsheet do the math for you, which would be just equal 429 times that 1/12. Once that value is in and computed, again you can grab the lower right-hand corner and drag that across for all months. For this particular example, all of the expected values for all of the categories are the same. That might not be the case for your example. Okay, in the notes, I computed or constructed segmented bar graphs. I will show you how those are done in a spreadsheet. You're going to want to select the row labels and also the column labels and the data as well. So I have the column labels highlighted here. I have the row labels and as well as the data. Then in Google Sheets, I'm going to select Insert and specify Chart. The chart that is returned is a line chart. We're going to want to construct a bar chart instead. So under Setup, I can select a segmented bar graph, which is going to be, or the stacked bar graph, excuse me, which is going to be the one shown here. The bars are stacked now for each month. I want them stacked by the observed and expected instead. So to do that, underneath Setup, I can select or deselect Switch Rows and Columns here. And what that's going to do is create one bar for my observed counts and one bar for my expected counts. This graph is quite colorful, and we can change the colors if you want. So if I select a bar underneath the Series tab here, I can change that color to whatever I would like. So if I want it to be a gray instead, I can do that. The other thing that I can do is add the labels to each of the cells. So here I'm selecting one of the cells. I'm going to do a right click, and then underneath Series, I'm going to select Apply to All Series. So what that's going to do is when I add the labels, it'll add them to all of the boxes for me. Now over under my chart editor, under Customize, I can select data labels here. I can do some customization of those. For example, under Position, I can change that to Center. I can change the size of those if I want to shrink them down a little bit. And now you can see that the labels have been included on each of those bars. And the labels just correspond to the values here. Lastly, I want to show you how to compute a p-value. So let's go ahead and do that. The formula that is used to compute the p-value is the chi-test. So in a cell, in an empty cell, I just need to type equal and then chi-test. I need an open parentheses, and then all I need to do is highlight the observed values and also the expected values. It does not matter the orientation of these cells. I just need those quantities highlighted there. So they could be set up vertically or horizontally as I have them here. The value that I get back from that formula is the p-value for my test. So let's do that one more time. So equal chi-test. Highlight the observed quantities and then the expected quantities. And then I would just compare this p-value against my level of significance for the test. Okay, that does it. That shows you how to do a chi-square goodness of fit test in Google Sheets. The approach for getting the p-value is exactly the same in Excel. Thank you.